I'm sorry, there was a little bit of distraction there. Okay, let's resume. Um, yeah, so I was talking regarding the questions other than WH words. Fine. So now the questions that start with modals, do verbs, or be verbs, they are known as the questions other than the WH question words. Okay, now see this example. Now, here in this example, do you know when she will go home? I said to him. This is in direct speech, and the question starts with do verb, followed by the subject, and then we have the verb phrase. Okay? Now, always remember in interrogative sentence, a while back I told you that the structure that we follow is regarding the interrogative sentence. We follow the structure as WH word followed by a be verb or a do verb, then subject and then the verb phrase. And if you take that in a very layman's language or you say in a very simple language, then basically in questions, the main verb comes first, followed by the subject. And whatever we have after the subject, that generally is known as the verb phrase. Okay? Now, when we convert that interrogative sentence into indirect speech, then subject comes first, followed by the verb phrase. Okay? Fine. Now, let's come to the conversion here. Now, when such kind of conversions are made from direct speech to indirect speech, how it is done? See, I asked him if he knew when she would go home. Now, what happens? What is the exception over here? Whenever we have the questions other than the WH question words, and when we convert that from direct speech to indirect speech, the things that you have to remember is first is that is never used. This is one thing. Another thing is use of conditions, that is if or whether, in place of the question word. So here we have, I asked him if he knew she would go home. Now this do verb or the do question verb is removed when we have converted this from direct speech to indirect speech. So instead of this do verb, here we have if. Then he knew when she would go home, and we have made all the necessary changes, that is change of pronoun and also the change of tense, that is will has become would, know has become knew. Fine. And the changes in the pronoun are also made. Okay, let's come to another example. I said, will you go home? Now this is in direct speech, and when we have converted this, see how the thing has been changed. I asked her, will you go home? You can write here her also, you can write him also. The pronoun here depends upon you. When it is not that very clear, you can use any pronoun. Either you can use him or you can use her. So I said, will you go home? Now see, this question starts with will, which is a conditional or a modal. Now, when we have converted this from direct speech to indirect speech, this question word is removed, and we have here the condition whether. You can use if also. There is no hard and fast rule that for certain conditions you have to use if, or for certain conditions you have to use would only. No, you can use any of them, either if or would. So it is whether or if you can use, then she would go home. That is, will here has converted into would. Alright? And then the other things are retained. Now, one thing that you would notice over here, that is the difference between these two examples. Here the subject, that is the question word do, has been removed. Okay? And we have brought if. Now here the question is little bit different than the do verb. Now, whenever we have questions starting with will or say shall, then what we follow the sentence pattern, we use invariably if or whether in place of that. That is, I told you that is never used, so something has to be used. So what is used? If or whether. Then you have to follow the statement pattern here in this case. How? That is, it becomes subject first and then the verb phrase. Okay? Now when you are converting this verb phrase, from where you are getting the main verb? You are getting the main verb from here. That is, will converts to would. Because in every sentence you should have at least one main verb or one finite verb in order to complete the meaning of the sentence. So while you change the questions from direct speech to indirect speech, you have to be a little bit careful that your statement, that is the statement that you are making in indirect speech, that must contain the main verb. If you don't provide the main verb, and the main verb you will get from the question itself. If you don't provide the main verb, then probably your conversion will become wrong. Okay? Now, let's come to the next part, which is question tags. And question tags are quite interesting to note. So, what is a question tag? This will become clear to you with the help of this example. Look at it carefully. She said, "You don't like him, do you?" Now, you see in this sentence, interrogative sentence, if you take it as whole, this is just a statement. I'm not using many technical terms for you. I'm just saying this is just a statement. And this is the question. Question part, or you can say it is a question tag. So, in very simple terms, what is a question tag? That is, the question part or the tag which is attached to the statement becomes a question tag. Now, there is a thing that you have to follow in case of question tags, and you will notice also, whenever the statement is in negative, the question tag will be positive. And vice versa is also true. When the statement is in positive, the question tag will become negative. Okay? Like if it is in this way, "You don't like him, do you?" That is, the statement is in negative, the question tag is in positive. It can become in this way, "You do like him, don't you?" So, the statement becomes positive and the question tags become negative. So, inverse pattern is followed. Now, when we have question tags, then how do we convert that from direct speech into indirect speech? It's very simple to note. See, she asked me if I liked him. And simply, what are the changes made? See, whenever we convert the question tags, the entire statement part is left out. In indirect speech, what are the things used? The question tag is expanded into the statement. Now, here we have this question tag starting with do. Okay? Now, we have left this out, do, and instead of that, we have used if, or you can use whether as well. Okay? You can write it, "She asked me if I liked him," or you can write, "She asked me whether I liked him." Now, let's see this part of the statement, which is the extension of the question tag. Let's see how the things have been changed. Now, here we have the verb liked, which is the main verb. We have the verb liked. And how we have got this verb? We have got this verb from here. Because in the question tag, we don't use any verb. Now, when we are converting that question tag from direct speech to indirect speech, we have to provide a verb over here. So, from where do we get the verb? We get the verb from the statement itself. For example, suppose she said, you like music, don't you? So, in indirect speech, it becomes, she asked me if I liked music. Okay, now how the change has been made? The same thing has been followed over here. We have brought the conditional, that is if or whether. Fine. This question tag or the question starts with don't. So this has been removed and the conditional has been brought over here. I like music. When you see the statement, you like music, don't you? Or you don't like music, do you? The meaning of both the question tags are the same. That is, the person wanted to know from the listener whether he or she liked music or not. Okay, so what has become over here? I have brought the main verb from the statement itself. Okay, followed by the verb phrase, that is this part, music has come. Okay, now let's come to the next part of the indirect speech. What happens when we have yes or no in indirect speech? Now when we have yes or no in indirect speech, that takes the form of subject plus auxiliary verb. This will become clear to you with the help of this example. Now he said, can you help me? I said yes. Now this entire speech report is in direct speech. Now see, what are the changes have been made? He asked me if I could help him and I said I could. Now here you have to concentrate a little bit. See how the changes have been made. He asked me if I could help him and I said I could. Now this question starts with the modal can. Fine. Now you have to remember one thing, as I told you a little while ago, that is whenever we have the questions like starting with modals or say starting with be verbs, now we have to provide the verb to the statement in indirect speech. And from where do we get that verb? Whenever we have such kind of questions, that is starting with modals or starting with the that is the be verb, then we take the verb itself from the direct speech. See how he asked me if I could help him. Now this can becomes could in indirect speech. Okay, the necessary change in the pronoun has been made. You becomes I. Help him, this pronoun again has changed into him. Help remains as it is because with the modals, the verb remains the same. There is no change in their pattern. And I said I could. Now this is the reply part. You see here, it was I said yes. Now how we convert this into indirect speech? This is the reply part. And how the reply part has been made? In the direct speech it was yes. So it shows that the person can help me. So how this has been brought over here? He asked me if I could help him and I said I could. That is, yes becomes subject plus auxiliary. Subject becomes I here and auxiliary verb becomes could. Now how do we get this auxiliary verb? We get this auxiliary verb from the question itself. Okay, let's see this example and this will become clear to you again. I said, will you go home? She said no. I asked her whether or if. she would go home, and she replied that she wouldn't. That is, now will has become would over here, and here in the direct speech we had the reply in no, that is negative. Now, when we have converted this into indirect speech, we have brought this sentence pattern subject plus auxiliary verb. And from where we have got this auxiliary verb? We have got this auxiliary verb from the direct speech question itself. If it is like I said, can you go home? Okay, she said no. Then it would have become I asked her whether she could go home, and she replied that she couldn't. And she replied that she couldn't. This is the reply part that we saw in the direct speech. That takes the form of this in indirect speech. And she replied that she wouldn't or couldn't. Whatever that is the question word we have in indirect speech, that comes as the auxiliary verb in the indirect speech. Okay. Now I will be giving you certain the worksheets and the examples also to solve, because interrogative sentences are quite important as far as your examination is concerned. So you get questions on these. So I'll be giving you certain worksheets on these interrogative sentences. So please keep on revising, and after you do the exercises, things will become more clear to you. Okay. So tomorrow I'll be discussing with you, that is regarding the statements and the exclamatory sentences, the rules that we use over there. Okay. Thank you.